Welcome to Champions Learning Center Maths tutorial. Today we will be looking at negative numbers and actually proving that two negatives multiplied together equal a positive. Now, many times students ask us, why is that the case? Now, we tend to avoid answering questions like those because up to GCSE level, all you have to do is just accept that fact that negative times a negative equal a positive. So what we're going to do today is just do a quick logic in order to prove that two negatives multiplied together gives a positive. And sometimes students ask, then if I have minus £10 at the bank, then wouldn't the bank credit me with a positive number if I multiply that up? But it won't work like that, because if you have negative £10 in your bank, meaning that you are owing the bank £10, you don't actually multiply by a negative number to get further into a minus number. So if you double that, it's just using a whole number to multiply what you already hold, which would give you minus 20. So in that case, you will never get to a negative times a negative, because you can't multiply by a negative number if you're owing the bank already. So that wouldn't work, even though we would like that to be the case. So what we're going to look at is just a quick calculation just to see how it works. It is actually the maths that we use that forces us to accept this fact that negative times a negative equal a positive. So in the future, if we revamp our math system, we could end up with a complete different system that actually remove this logic. But at the moment, with the math system that we use, it forces us to accept that two negative numbers multiplied together equal a positive number. And we're going to prove that just now. So let's take, for example, so if I just write here negative times negative equal to a positive. If I take, for example, a simple multiplication like 17 times 14, and we're going to do that in a grid method. So we're going to set it out in a grid method for the multiplication. So this is my 10, and this is my 4, and then this is my my other, so let's pop it here. So hold on. So if I put the 10 here, and if I just pop that there, and then I'm going to just pop the 10 here and the 7. So what I have here is I'm going to multiply these two numbers, which is 17 times 14, and all I did was separate 17 in its tens and units. So 17 is made up of 1 10, 7 units, so 10 and a 7, and 14 is equally made up of 10 and a 4, 1 10, 1 units. So I'm going to do the grid multiplication in order to get our answer. So we see 10 times 10 is 100, and 10 times 7 is 70, and also 4 times 10 is 40, and 4 times 7 is 28. So we can add these up together to total, and that would give us 170 plus 68. Okay, so we'll just add those two together, and that gives us a total of that addition of 8, 7 and 3 is 10 and 3, and carry the 1, so 238. Okay, so this calculation gives us 238. So 17 multiplied by 14 equals 238. what I'm going to do, I am going to, let's see if I can do it right here so that you can see that still on the system there. I'm just going to draw a similar grid, another grid, just beneath that so we can quickly do that. So if I just do that, 1, 2, 3, and that one, and what we're going to do, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to stay in the same logic of that. Now we're going to multiply the same number, that is 17 times 14, and 17 times 14. But instead of using 17 times 14 or 17, I am going to use 20 take away 3. So 20 take away 3 is 17. Okay, so this is this top number there. So 20 take away 3 is 17. And for my 14, I'm going to use 16 take away 2. Because 16 take away 2 is 14. Okay, so 16 take away 2 is 14, which gives me the same number that we used there. And 20 take away 3 gives me 17, which is the same number. So we're both basically multiplying those. Now when I do 20 times 16, that gives me 230. And 16 times minus 3 would gives me 3 6 18, so that's minus 48. And minus 2 times 20, which we're happy with, give us minus 40. Okay, and I'm going to leave this blank for a minute. Now we're going to total everything up to see what we get. So we know it's 230 plus minus 48 plus minus 40. So if we add the two negative numbers together, we get 230 plus minus 88. Now minus 88, so is that right? 230 minus 40 minus 88. So if we now, so this would leave us with 230 minus 88. Let me just check this is correct here. So we've got minus 48 minus 40, which is minus 88. Now if we just subtract that, so I'm just going to do that subtraction here, which is 230, and I'm taking away 88. So if I borrow that 1, leaves me with 2, so that's 2. And if I borrow that, which is 112, that gives me 4. And so hold on, just see if I'm making model up in here. So we've got 230 minus 88, 230 minus 88, so this is 2, and that gives me 2, and if I borrow the 1 from there, it is 12 take away, which is 4. That is giving me 142. Okay, that doesn't seem right. What have I done wrong? Let's just go back over here. Let's see if we got that right here. So let's just do this again. So 2 6s 12. I'll just check my 2 6s here. So that looks right. Now, oh yeah, this is where the error is. So this is 320. Sorry. So here's my error. So this is 320 here. Okay, so that's 320. So 2 6s 12, 2 was 2. Yep, so that's 320. So now we have 320 minus 88. That's better. So 320 minus 88. So if I borrow the 1 from there, so that is 2. And if I borrow the 1 from there, so that's 11, so that's 3, and that is 2. So this answer is 232. Okay, remember we still need one number here, which I deliberately leave out of the question and the calculation, because we now see that for me to get this number here, I have to multiply -2 times -3. Okay, we know that 17 times 14 give us 238, which we have there, and now we have 232. So it means that negative times negative must give us a positive number, which we need to add to this to give us 238, which is 6. So you can see that -2 times -3 give us positive 6. So we are forced to accept that in order to get this number, which we need to add to 232 to make 238, it must be 6. And the only two numbers that can give us 6 is -2 times -3. So we're forced to accept that negative times a negative equal a positive. There you go. And that's just one simple way of proving that a negative times a negative equal a positive. Hope you enjoy that. Thanks much.